To me, the 2022 season of NFL football looks to be really, really special. I mean, I keep seeing more and more storylines. I love my storylines. It's only football, but we're all trying to just have some fun. And not every season our team achieves the goals that we want, making the playoffs, making the Super Bowl. So it's either a dead season if your team doesn't do what, you're hoping for, or you can have a backup plan and enjoy other storylines, other players having success or failure, team success or failure, to kind of make up to soften the blow of your team not doing what you're hoping for. And for me as a Dolphins fan, it's been a long, long time for that. I haven't been to a Super Bowl in, almost 40 years. Haven't even won a playoff game in almost 25 years. So for me, I've had to find plan B for a long time and find pleasure. And that's really what I'm trying to do now. I got a bunch of stuff coming for Fins fans, Colts fans, Titans, Bills, all those other guys normally cover. But I'm trying to do a little bit on the side to keep your interest in other areas because, unfortunately, only one of us is going to go to the dance from the AFC, and only one of us in the entire league is going to win it. And a bunch of us are going to kind of have some letdowns. So these other storylines give you a chance to just say, hey, you know what? I'm finding some other enjoyment elsewhere. And to me, another storyline's popped up that we've never seen before. Baker Mayfield was traded to the Panthers, conditional 5th-round pick. But think about this. On the same roster, you have the first overall pick in the 2018 draft and a 3rd overall pick of the 2018 draft together battling it out for one position. This is interesting. I mean, for me, it's a highly interesting thing. Sam Darnold, I like him, but I was never really high on him. Mayfield, I just liked his moxie. I saw some limitations of in his game, but I really liked him. And so for me, this is going to be an extremely interesting layout of what's going to happen in camp, who's going to get the starting spot, and who's going to keep it through the course of the season. To me, Panthers, the NFC is far distant removed from what I'm interested in. AFC, obviously the AFC East and the Dolphins is my primary interest. But this is going to make me watch games, going to make me pay attention to them. Now, before I get into all that stuff, show you all the little intrigues and all this, I just want to say thank you to everybody stopping by, all the subscribes, the likes, the comments, all that stuff is huge because this show is about you guys showing interest, and I'm grateful for that. Just want to give a quick shout out to my sponsor, Ace Per Head, because without them, this is not happening either. Ace Per Head's betting software is the premier white label platform for bookies to manage their players and grow their sportsbook operation. Click the link in the description below to get set up in minutes. Ask for the Curtis promo and get a special introductory discount. Basically, a lot of people saying, oh, Baker's got the job. He's coming in, he's going to give him... But there's a lot of problems with that because I watched Colin Cowherd and Bucky Brooks. I really like Bucky Brooks. I like Cowherd too. I don't always think he's making the right calls from a football standpoint. I think he's more about, just loose stats and vibes. But Bucky Brooks, I don't always agree with him, but I really, really like the guy. I think he's smart. He was a scout. He played. This guy I really enjoy any time that he gives us to tell us his thoughts because I always learn. So they had a great show. You should check it out. And that's really what pushed me to do this little podcast here. So a lot of things I'm going to be doing is going to be echoing what went there and then giving my little thing and then kind of refuting some of it. Now, Bucky Brooks made some really great points. And he talked about Baker getting backup money. He's not guaranteed this job. He's coming in late. He's got to learn a whole new playbook. Darnold, he's already got the team behind him. The players love him. He's got a little edge on learning the playbook. He's bigger, stronger, faster. And more than likely, Matt Rule, the coach, can't just say, oh, we're going to give it to Baker because that could put problems with his relationship with the players because they do like Darnold. Now, the players would be fine if Baker wins it out, but Baker's not going to be given anything. And this is great. It's great for both players. I love stories. I say all the time, this is opportunity for two guys to make good. Panthers had a very good draft. They got Moten on one side and the kid Ike, or whatever his name, I can't remember his name, in the first top 10 on the other side. They've got McCaffrey in the backfield, solid defense. It's kind of building, new offensive system. They have a shot to really do something. Now, both these guys are going to get their opportunities. They're both kind of getting what they needed. Darnold came into the league and had Gase and the Jets and instability. Remember him? I'm seeing ghosts. The Patriots beat him up so bad. It was terrible. And I don't think this guy's ever had a chance to really show what he's about. I talk about framework all the time. People, two of this, two of that. The guy's framework is disaster. The framework is going to determine a lot. It's going to really give you a chance to be all you can be. I don't think Tua is 10 out of 10 as far as a quarterback. I don't think Darnold is, and I don't think Baker is. But they've been held down by their framework, and Darnold's going to have a real legitimate chance. Same with Baker. Kyle, I don't really agree too much with Colin. And Bucky, I disagree with this on a little bit. But they talked about, he had a pretty good first season. And then second season, he kind of sucked. And third season, he was pretty good. And then fourth season, he was a disaster. And he broke the rookie touchdown record. And then he had his interim coach, Greg Williams, taken out. And they had the QB coach turned into offensive coordinator, turned into a head coach within one season. And he was a disaster. And that was year 2. Then year 3, he came back. And it wasn't a great season by any degree by Baker Mayfield. But when he went into the postseason and he went against the Steelers, he went 21 for 34, 263, 3 touchdowns, no picks. And the run game really, the best was 4.2 yards per carry. And they had about 115 yards on the ground. And it was a shootout. It was like 43-39 or something. So Baker came through in that one moment when the framework was pretty decent around him. And he came back and people were like, maybe it'll be something. And then week 1, he lost to 29-33 to the Chiefs. He was, I think he was 21 for 28, 300 yards and 1 pick. Now, the pick came in the last minute and 16 seconds when they were just driving down the field. Wasn't a great game by any imagination, but it wasn't a disaster. And then Colin's like, Baker was supposed to have accuracy, but last year his accuracy went down and, maybe he's not so accurate. We all know Colin's got his thing with Baker. And, I'm not saying he's right or wrong, but in week 2, he tore his labrum, popped it, tore it. And that's a very serious thing on his non-throwing shoulder. I mean, you're taking medications to get through the entire season. You're not having a good night's sleep. You can't lay on that arm. You're popping pills. No matter what pills they give you and how they manage it, your brain's starting to get a little foggy. You can't train right. You're constantly in pain and discomfort. I mean, we got to cut a little bit of slack for him to say, torn labrum. So I'm not saying Baker is great, but this guy's not terrible. I mean, not every quarterback has to be Tom Brady, Mahomes, Rodgers. I mean, it's not, you can't expect every quarterback to be 10 out of 10. Teams win or get to the Super Bowl all the time with 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10. I mean, look at Eli. He was about an 8 out of 10 and he had 2 postseasons that was 10 out of 10. He got into the groove. The idea is to have a quality quarterback that you can win and then either get a backup plan to get out of him or trade him and get some capital. Baker is good enough. I don't know about Darnold, but I believe Baker is good enough. But I agree with Bucky here. I don't think he's going to get the starting position right out of the gate. I think Darnold is going to hold on to it. And this is good. Darnold holding on to that spot and having to keep it through the season is really going to show this guy can make it or not. He's our guy or not. But the same token, the thing that I like most about Baker is his moxie, his attitude. They say he doesn't get along with players. He didn't get along with Beckham. Not many people get along with Beckham. Beckham's a little bit of a prima donna. So I find that a little hard to believe that his teammates loved him in college. I mean, really loved him in college. But he's got a little bit of ego and narcissism. And he's needed that to get to where he has, to come from the practice squad and build himself up. But sometimes the thing that gets you someplace can also be a hindrance. And for him to play backup, to say, I'm willing to be a backup, I'm going to support Darnold and wait for my time. This is also the best thing for Baker. And I really think you're going to see this play out this way, where Darnold gets the starting job. Baker's going to, I don't know if he's going to, but in a perfect universe, play this backup role and wait for his time. And I think when his time comes, he's going to shine. I like him as a better prospect than Darnold. Darnold's got the physical tools, but there's something a little twitchy or a little skittish about his nature. And I think that edge is why I like Mayfield better. I think ultimately he's going to take over the spot. Rule's got kid he drafted in the third round as well. They're in a really good spot. I think Panther fans, they're in a great spot. Remember, they went to the Super Bowl with Jake Delhomme. You didn't win it. But again, like I said, I'm waiting 40 years to go to a Super Bowl. Just to go to a Super Bowl and lose it, I'd be like, it's a win. I mean, I want to win it. So, Panthers in a great spot. Another point that was brought up in the Bucky Brooks, Colin Coward show is that NFC is very ghost-like as far as high quarterback talent. It's going to give both these guys a chance to shine. One more thing to keep your eyes on. One more thing, if you're at the cubicle and you're bored, you can go check out and just, put a little smile on your face. If things aren't going right for your teams, another little thing you can check out and enjoy. For me, the AFC, all the teams involved, is going to make me smile. It's going to be hurt if my Dolphins don't do what they're supposed to. But at least I'll have this backup stuff, the AFC teams, the great matchups, and now this little thing on the side with the battle between Darnold, the battle between Baker to see who's going to be able to take the spot and keep it. Football fans of all different teams and stuff, it's about enjoyment. Life is pretty wild these days. You read the news, and it's really, really wild. So it's going to give us an opportunity to put a little smile on our face with all this craziness going around, maybe if our team doesn't achieve its goals. So get ready, fans. This is going to be an enjoyable season. I hope you pay attention to all the stuff that's going on, because I think it's going to be very, very interesting. As Curtis saying, it's a little one here. Thanks for stopping by. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Comments mean the most. Catch you next time. Be well. See you soon. Start building your own online sportsbook today by getting signed up with aceperhead.com service that'll allow you to book action on sports from all around the world.